Hey guys, spend the day with me as a crochet business owner selling my hats at FAMU's vendor market. So this is actually a recap of the March 1st set Friday, which was my second one of the semester. And I genuinely don't know how I got through this day because I was running on 0 hours of sleep. Yes, 0, and I'm not even exaggerating. Ever since I started selling my hats at set Friday, I've had a really bad habit of procrastinating until the week of, causing me to limit myself on time and have to pull all-nighters every single day of the week. So that's the predicament I was in this day, but somehow I managed to make it through. I got to the school around 10 a.m., unloaded my car, and then started to set everything up. First my table, and then I started figuring out how I wanted to display all the hats. Once I was finished with that, I moved on to the candy bowls, and then I started to get some content for my social media pages. I was really pleased with this setup. I had a total of 34 hats, and I just love the way all the colors came together. Shout out to my line sister Deanna for buying the first hat of the day. It's crazy because I didn't even think that one was gonna sell. It wasn't long before I was joined by my favorite freshmen on campus. Shout out to the Fall 2300 members because they're at my table every single set Friday and they never fail to support. This set Friday ended up being a huge success and it wasn't even my highest selling one. Make sure you check out the caption for more details and tune into my newest YouTube video for the behind the scenes. Bye!
I finished my daughter's cat ear beanie. I hate this stupid tinsel yarn, but I finished it.
I just wrapped up my Black Friday and Cyber Monday 40% off sales, so let's package some orders together. Hey y'all, I'm Kendall Ty and I own a handmade crochet business, and this past week I ran the largest sale on my Etsy shop since I've been selling my items. I'm honestly doing a voiceover because I just wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all of the support that I've been receiving lately. This is the largest amount of orders I've ever had at once, and I'm so grateful for the fact that y'all are willing to spend your hard-earned money on the things that I make. And aside from the sales, the support across my social media has just been out of this world. Like every day I open up my DMs and I read my comments, and you guys are showing me how my tutorials have helped you, letting me know I've inspired you, telling me you started your own business, or simply complimenting my work. So once again, thank you guys for your support and your encouraging words, and let this be a sign to keep posting, keep creating, and keep showing up for the things you're passionate about. Love you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye! We're gonna be crocheting all of my scrap yarn. I don't understand how they do that. Gymnastics is eating, period. They have like any game at the Olympics. What am I watching right now? Where are my scissors? Jamaica won! What? Did you win? Good morning, you guys. It's November 1st, which means it's market day. It's 8 in the morning. I did not go to sleep last night. That's like so fun, and honestly I'm gonna feel it later, but I'm just glad it's market day at this point. I'm just glad that I made it to market day because it feels like I've been prepping for 3 months now. With that being said, I'm about to go get some Chick-fil-A. I gotta stop at a couple stores, and I'll see y'all at Set Friday. We're out here at Homecoming Set Friday. We got the FAMU, the 1887, orange and green, green and white, orange and white. We got the prints. We got the sign. We got the dark orange, dark green. We got the org hats, org colors. We got some scrunchies. We got some beanies. Some scrap yarn hats. Some more beanies. We got the sale $20 hats in here.
You got two choices. Yes or yes.
my drawing process from start to finish. Start, finish.
Hey guys, crochet my very first baby hat with me while I tell y'all about how I got to crochet in the first place. So I was introduced to crochet somewhere between 2nd and 4th grade. I was living overseas and my enrichment teacher had given us a crochet hook, some yarn, and a plastic bag to keep all of our materials in. And little did she know she would change my life. Okay, but not for real. When I first started, I obviously had no idea what I was doing, and I remember how I had to keep asking my friend, can you fix my fingers? Can you fix my fingers? Because I needed help with like how to place the yarn in between my fingers. So eventually I was able to get the hang of it. And fast forward to 2012, I moved back to the United States. I'm in 5th grade now, and I'm still crocheting, trying to work on how to keep my rows and my stitches straight. Once I got better at it, I started watching YouTube tutorials, and I was able to make things like scarves, gloves, and hats. I really enjoyed crocheting because it was kind of like a stress reliever for me, because even at such a young age, yes, I was dealing with academic stress. But then once I left the school I was at and went to middle school, I eventually just stopped crocheting. I didn't crochet from like 8th grade, all of high school, and then half of college. Until one day during winter break of my junior year, which was December 2022, I was scrolling through Pinterest and I saw a hat by another creator, and I was like, hold on, I can make this. So I ended up making a few hats and I posted them on my Instagram stories, and my friends started to swipe up and were like, Kendall, I would buy this. Mind you, the entire time that I wasn't crocheting, my mom was telling me how people would buy the things that I make and how I need to get back into it. And so early January of 2023, I sent out my first Google form where I let people place custom orders, and I got 17 orders and I made about like $450 if I remember correctly. And ever since then, I've learned a lot about owning a business and how I can get better at things like time management, money management, promotion, and consistency. And I've just been having a lot of fun creating new things, meeting new people, and I'm always thankful to God for introducing me to this craft in the first place and allowing me to turn this hobby into something I'm so passionate about.
Thank you. Stop self-sabotaging. Thank you. I shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. I think I'm tired and I'm like mad. We're working today. We're working. I was like, okay, let's lock in. Kendall, let's just get it done. Stop, buddy. Please don't be concerned. Hey guys, put together my boyfriend's crochet gift box with me. So I got the cardboard box from Joann. It came in a set of 3 and I'm using the biggest one. Making the covering was actually really easy. So once I was done with that, I just started gluing everything to the box. I was working with minimal hot glue, but I was able to get the job done. Then I moved on to gluing on all the letters, which spell out his initials. To make these, I just used YouTube tutorials and tweaked them a little bit to change the sizing. This part took a little bit of time and I was starting to get hot and sweaty because of all the heat from the glue gun and the light, but it was well worth it because it came out really cute. He's a big fan of The Office, so I thought this was the perfect card. And then I added in some of his favorite snacks, some gift cards, a hat I crocheted him, some smell goods from Bath and Body Works, and some hair ties because he asked for them. And that was it. Okay, bye. I'm so excited. Just put a cute ball of yarn in front of me and you got me. First half of the night. It's 3:40. No, I'm not in a good mood. I'm gonna cry my eyes out, so I'll just see you guys later, okay? Recently, I was gifted a new printer and packaging orders just got so much better. Hey y'all, I'm Kendall and I own a handmade crochet business, and today we're going to be packaging some orders featuring my new Bluetooth thermal label printer from Munbin. So just like normal, I start by handwriting my thank you cards for each order, and before we package the items, there are a few things we need to print out. With this printer and the Munbin app, preparing my shipping labels and making stickers is such an easy process. First, I turn the printer on and connect it to my phone, then I make sure that the labels are ready to go so everything prints correctly. Once I have my label downloaded, I import it into the app, select select the correct size, and press print. See, wasn't that just so easy? I also got this roll of really cute stickers, so I decided to design some with my logo that I can add to the packaging. Making stickers and labels in the app is also pretty easy to do, and you can play around with the different designs and templates. Once I was finished printing everything, I went ahead and packaged the items with tissue paper, added my new stickers, put everything in the poly mailers, added the shipping labels, and I was finished. Make sure you guys check out these Munbin products that are currently on sale, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing y'all how I make my crochet granny square book sleeve. It's very simple. If you already know how to make a granny square, you can just go ahead and start. But if not, I'm going to show you guys really quickly. So I'm using a size 4.5 millimeter hook, and I think this is a weight 4 yarn. If you look in one of my recent posts, I showed you guys the brand of the yarn that I'm using. You're going to start with a magic circle. You're going to chain 2. 1, 2. So just a heads up for this entire project, anytime you chain 2, it does not count as a stitch. I'm going to do 3 double crochets into the magic circle. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to do 3 more. 1, 2, 3, chain 1 again, 3 more, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 more time, and do 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. So now it should look something like this. You should have 4 groups of 3 for a total of 12 double crochets, and you should have chain 1s in between all of those. So next you're going to take this little tail and just pull the magic circle closed. Pull it as tight as you can. You're going to look back at the beginning, the first stitch you made, not the chain 2, but the very first double crochet. So you see I have 3 double crochets right here, and then I'm going to insert a half double crochet into this first stitch. So yarn over, insert into the first stitch. You're going to make sure that you put your hook through both loops, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through all 3. So this is your very first row. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to chain 2 again. You're going to chain 2 at the beginning of each row and then turn your work. Like I said before, the chain 2 does not count as a stitch, so you're going to do 3 double crochets into this first one. 1, 2, 3. You're not going to do a chain 1. You're going to do 3 double crochets into this next hole, which is the chain 1 from the previous row. So yarn over, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. And since we're at a corner, we're going to chain 1 and do 3 more double crochets into the same hole. 1, 2, 3. So you're basically going to do that at every single corner. You're going to do 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 more double crochets. Whenever you're going from space to space with no corner, you're not going to chain 1. So since this is from space to space, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And now we're at another corner. So we're going to chain 1 and do 3 more into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3. We just finished this corner. We're not going to chain 1, and we're going to do 3 double crochets into this next stitch. 2, 3. You're going to chain 1 and do 3 more into that same stitch. 1, 2, 3. And now we're back at that first corner that we started at. So we're only going to do 3 double crochets into this stitch. 1, 2, 3. So now that we're at the end of this row, we're going to go ahead and join these 2 right here, these 2 sections of double crochets. So we're going to do a half double crochet into this first double crochet. So yarn over, You can count 3 so you know where the first stitch is, and then you're going to go through the 2 loops at the top, yarn over, pull through 3, and then pull through all 3. So basically a granny square is very repetitive. You're doing the exact same thing every row, just you increase how many times you do it each time you go up a row. As you work, you can like flatten it out so that you get the shape you want. So basically you're going to do the same exact thing every single row. You're just going to do 3 double crochets into all of these spaces, and then every time you're at a corner, you're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. And remember, as you're going from section to section, like across here, you don't do a chain 1. So I'm on row 13 right now, and I need to get to 15 or 16 rows. And before I run out of yarn, I just wanted to show y'all one more time how I do the granny square. You're going to do 3 double crochets into all the spaces. 1, 2, 3. You're going to go directly into the next space. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. And now since we're at a corner, we're going to chain 1 and do 3 more double crochets into that same stitch. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do the same thing all the way to the end of the row. And then now we're back at the beginning of the row where there's already 3 double crochets in this stitch. So you're going to do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to do a half double crochet into that first double crochet just to join them. And then you're done with the row.
This is where the magic happens. It's like how we used
So I'm all done with my granny square. I got to 15 rows. Depending on what yarn you're using, it should take about 15 or 16 rows to fit a regular size book. And you could always make this smaller or larger to fit something like your iPad, your Kindle, or laptop, whatever you want. So next we're gonna go ahead and start on the strap. Your yarn should still be connected at the top, and all you're gonna do is make a long enough chain to wrap around the entire book. So for me, I'm gonna do somewhere around 75 and 90 chains. So I went ahead and did 90 chains just to be safe. I'm gonna go ahead and make a long enough tail and cut this off. So that's pretty much the length of the strap, and I'm gonna go ahead and sew up the rest of the book sleeve so I can make sure it's a good size, and then we'll put the beads on at the end. So what you're gonna do is turn your book sleeve inside out, and you'll be able to tell what's the inside, what's the outside based on where the tail is. For me, the tail was on this side, but I already sewed it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over, and then I'm gonna fold it up and connect all the corners. So it should be something like this, like an envelope shape. And then I'm gonna cut a long enough piece of string to sew down this side. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to tie the piece of string to this chain 1 right here in the middle. So you're gonna do 2 double knots just to make sure it's secure, and then we'll sew in the tail later. You can either take a crochet hook or a crochet needle. At the moment, I cannot find any of my needles, so I'm gonna be sewing this with a hook. And what you're gonna do is loop the string through the other chain 1 from the other side. You should be able to see where the chain 1 is from this corner, and you're going to insert either your hook or your needle into these 2 loops, and then you're going to go ahead and feed the yarn through it, and then you're just going to start sewing. So it might be a little bit hard to see, but I'm going to do my best to show you guys. But you see 2 loops right here and 2 loops right here. We're going to line those up and then sew the yarn through that, and then sew the yarn through these 2 loops, these 2 loops, these 2 loops, and then keep going all the way down to the bottom. So I put my hook through the loop on the right side and then the loop on the left side, and then I'm just going to feed the yarn through it. It takes a little bit more time with the crochet hook, so if you have a needle, try to use that because it'll be a lot easier. So I'm almost at the end of this corner. I just wanted to show you guys one more time what it looks like to put the hook through both loops. So it should look like this on your hook or on your needle, and then you just pull the yarn straight through both. And you want to make sure you're doing your best to feed the yarn through those 2 loops only. Well, really those 4 loops, so 2 loops on both sides, so that when you flip it inside out, everything looks right from the front. Now we're at the very last 2 loops at the very bottom. It's going to feed the yarn through, and then To secure this, I don't feed it all the way through. I go ahead and just do a chain and then pull it, and it creates like a knot, and then I add one more knot just for extra security. So then you can go ahead and cut that tail. And it doesn't really matter how long you cut this tail because you're not going to see it, but if you want, you can go ahead and like sew it in so that it's not in the way. Then we're going to do the same exact thing to this side. Remember to just tie your piece of yarn up here to this chain one, and then connect it to this chain one from this corner, and then sew all the way down. And once you're finished, you can sew in all of your tails. Okay, so I'm all done sewing up this side, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it inside out. You should have something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and see if the strap is long enough. Honestly, the strap is kind of long, so I'm going to take out some of these chains. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is cut this tail a little bit shorter before we start feeding the beads in. And then I'm going to go ahead and split this piece of yarn in half. So all you're going to do is take your very tiny crochet hook. This is a size 0.9 millimeter. I'm going to put the bead through the top of the hook like this. And then I'm going to just wrap the yarn around it and then pull it through. And it should go through like this. And then you just pull the rest through with your fingers. And you have the beads on. So for this part, you can add as many beads as you want. I'm just going to go ahead and stick to 8. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a knot around the very last bead to secure it. This part can be a little challenging, but just try your best. You can use the crochet hook if you need to. So I went ahead and put 2 knots around the last bead just to secure it. And once all the beads fall, it'll look something like this. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and just cut the string. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap around the excess yarn in this little space, and then I'm going to secure it with super glue. Okay, so I'm all done wrapping the yarn around the end of the beads. I did use a lighter to clean up some of the fibers, so if you're using acrylic yarn, you can do that as well. Just be careful since we are working with some super glue. You want to make sure nothing is flammable. So that's pretty much the end of the book sleeve tutorial. As you guys probably saw in my other video, you can use this book sleeve 2 ways. If you have the flap completely unfolded, then the beads will end up in the back. If you want to shorten it, what you can do is insert the beads into one of these holes in the granny square, pull it through, and the flap will be a little bit shorter. And then once you wrap it all the way around, the beads will be in the front. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. I am selling these, so if you would like to purchase one, you can just message me on here or on Instagram. They will be on my Etsy soon, and yeah.